Well, hi everybody, and we're back again. And I hope this time we're going to stay on. But thank you to everybody who joined the first time, and I hope you're going to stay. And let me just get Chris back here. So, quite a few questions. Okay, Chris, you're back. Hey, DSA, thank you. Thank you for coming back, bro. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Chris.
So, hi. So, Nigerian
Hi.
internet. I said it too. Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Okay.
But our
So,
friends are
hi.
back. They're having a party without us. Everybody is
I
having a party
see.
here without us. Oh yes.
I see that.
Oh yes. And I think there's a plan to come to Margaret's restaurants, but good thing that the restaurants are not open right now. Good thing.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you,
not.
Timmy, for coming back. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, DSA. You know, I think everybody else will be back shortly. You know.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's continue the conversation because we still have some time to go. And I just need to, okay, you talked about the things that didn't go wrong and the learning curve. Now,
Okay.
Adana just joined us and she's one of the people I had asked to talk to you because she's also in the food business. And recently, someone asked, okay, it's Adana. Okay, Adana, do they do deliveries? Chris, do you do deliveries?
We do deliveries, yes, but not at the moment. For this period, we're short. Oh, you're hungry. If you can send me a personal message of what you want to eat, I promise I'll make it tomorrow and deliver it personally.
Timmy, Chris is not cheap. Oh. I'm just saying that. Cordon bleu chef, you know what that means. Cordon bleu chef is not cheap. you know.
Okay, so Adana is back. You were saying her question.
Yes, Adana is back. Yes, her question. Well, this is a conversation she had. Adana, I hope it's okay for me to share. She runs a business from home for now. It's been growing. She does deliveries basically, but she's looking at expanding, doing the same thing, deliveries, home deliveries, catered food at home your request. And she's thinking about getting a bigger place. I don't know, did I capture your question? Well, I just want to know what do you think about that? What do you think about, because she's going to do exactly the same thing, which is cook and then have people go deliver them the food, as ordered. But it's a bigger
Okay.
place away from home, etc. What do you think?
Um, why would she want to incur an additional expense to her current overhead? That's a question I
I
would
don't,
like to ask because she's not a
okay.
walk-in restaurant.
No,
She's
no,
not a
she
walk-in
is a
and come and
worker.
sit. She does catered at home.
Yes, yes.
If she can create some more space for herself, it's still better because when she turns on the generator in her house, it powers her kitchen, which she uses to do her business. But then she needs to
Yes.
cut out a fraction of her income to be able to subsidize the diesel and repairs and maintenance. I understand that sometimes it can be difficult having people in your house, which is a family home with your family and all that. So it might be a bit difficult on your privacy and everything. But
Yeah.
really, the food industry is very tough now. Um, there are people who just, I can cook, and from the back of their house, they're churning out meals. Why would you want to go and pay rent, pay power bill, deal with the hassles of theft from staff when you can easily have all that within your confines or your residence where you presently are and manage all these things? And also find a way using that as an
But
edge,
Chris,
find a way to make your food a little bit more cheaper so that everybody can afford it or a lot of people can afford it. That's my take.
but Chris, isn't that one of the challenges of growing? managing all these how would I call it, irregularities, these difficulties. Isn't that one of the challenges of growing? I mean, you have grown and you've handled all those things.
I have been cooking for almost 30 years, if not more. And
Yeah.
I've established Margaret's for almost, this is our 15th, we're going on our 15th year now. December will make us 15 years. And really,
Okay.
there's really no way to manage it. You can manage to an extent, but there's really no way to manage it. This year, one of the things I did was that I really need to let go of micromanaging and trying to see everything. So I set up 36 cameras in my office. So I'm
Hello.
following every section. 36. I'm following every section with the cameras, and the cameras are voiceover. So once they are doing something which is wrong, I'm just talking immediately. Hey, you, what are you doing?
This is good.
Yes, I understand that moving out of your present location into somewhere else is growth. But at times like this, we're trying to be realistic. We are in the COVID phase. We're going to come out of it. Things are never going to be the same. Do you really want to have that much interaction? You have rent, you have insecurity, you have what's it called? Staff issues, you have purchases and stock and all that. Do you really want to go into that? Because within your house, what I would advise is, if it's possible, if you're married or if you're alone, get a bigger place.
She's
Speak to
married
your
with
husband,
children.
or yes. If you can, speak to your husband. If it's possible to get a bigger.
Okay, Chris,
Are
I
we
think
still
you've
on?
frozen again.
Are we still
Okay,
on?
you're back. You're back. You're back.
Okay. There are sometimes you would want to wake up as early as 4 to have deliveries for 4 a.m. and your husband will just frown and look at you as, where's this woman going again? Do you really want to be driving out at that time to go and cook?
But Chris, would that be a gender issue, really? I mean, I'm sure she does
No,
it
it's not
now.
a gender. It's
She
not a
she,
gender
she she's
issue.
online. She's online. She said it rained when it rained this morning
Yes,
again. It reminded her that she, of the
again.
issue she's facing. That the place is small. She's outgrown her space now. So how do you cope? It's a real life problem. She's online right now. You know.
Yeah, well, so since the place is really small, like she says, one of the options, my first choice wouldn't be just to go ahead and rent a place. My first choice would have been to change your residence and get a slightly bigger place. But if that's not feasible, then I guess you would have to go ahead and rent a place and be like me and run 3 generators trying to keep your deep freezer and your chilling system working because of power. But it's not my first option. But if that's fine, okay.
Well, I guess you've also given her a lot to think about, a lot to think about while she makes this decision. Somebody asked about your staffing issues, but I think you've also spoken about that.
Hmm.
36
Mm,
cameras, Chris.
within my
That is still
within my
micromanaging. Like seriously.
within my within my staff, I'm called the wicked boss, and some of them
Okay.
call me spirits. Some of them call me spirits. Let me give you very fun. Let me just crack a joke here. So we had this event,
Okay.
and we're making moi moi, and the moi moi was on fire. Yeah, I'm sure if the staff is listening to me, they are going to kill me. The moi moi was on the fire, and they thought that maybe I'd gone to the venue and everything. The moi moi was the last
Okay.
thing to be loaded to the truck. But I took a different route, and I went through the back. And I was coming through the back of the kitchen. I just saw one of the staff running to the back of the kitchen, and he was juggling moi moi like that. He was juggling because it was hot. He was burning his arms. He was burning his arms, his hands. So he was juggling it up and down. And I'm like, as soon as he saw me, the moi moi just dropped and split open. So I looked at the moi moi and I looked at him, And I said, "You're buying one bag of beans." And I walked away. So
That's so funny. That image is so, I mean, my goodness.
staff, we have all types, but when they come this way, you go that way. You always need to be 20 steps ahead of them. Let me digress a bit. I can see one e-drummer saying that I think we entrepreneurs all have this struggle for wanting our success to be seen.
To be
And
seen,
sometimes we
yes.
think the bigger location and more staff will do it. I agree with you. I guess
So
she's
sometimes we have
also
to
in
be
support of,
anonymous. Yes.
yes,
Sometimes we have to be anonymous and grow our muscles, our
grow the
entrepreneurial
business. Like,
muscles. Yes.
I can tell you that for the first 8 years, everybody assumed that Margaret was a woman.
Oh, yes. I
And
was
even till
surprised
now,
to see you.
people still say that Margaret is a woman. And I just said yes. People come to the office and
Okay. That's so funny. That's so funny.
so they asked me, has she come in today? I say, your madam, no, my madam hasn't come in today. She's coming. How can I help you, sir? Because it's run by a man. I just happen to have used.
Chris, you've gone off again, but okay. Okay. Okay, now what are the can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. We have a few minutes left, Chris. Chris, say something if you can hear me. Chris, say something if you can hear me. Chris, wave if you can hear me. If you can see me. Okay, I'm sure he's gonna come back on. I'm sure he's gonna come back on. Yes, so he's obey his madam. DSA, which one is the meat stealing stuff? I just learned about this juggling one, more juggling stuff. I tell you. But Ijoma, to speak to your issue, I think it's not just entrepreneurs. I think people struggle with this issue of anonymity and being seen, wanting to be seen. You know, we want to posture, we want to be the ones out there to be seen, and it's a major struggle. Okay, I think Chris is coming back on. Let's see if he can join us. Okay, there you are.
We want to be on Instagram, on the gram.
On the ground,
We want
yeah.
to be seen, like you say,
Yeah.
on the gram.
Yes. On the ground, yeah. But you see, I had a guest last week who Uche Oti, you know, and Uche said something really profound. I mean, it impacted me. He said, "Yes, you can rush to be on the ground, but the number of likes you have, the number of followers, does not necessarily translate into success." What's your take on
Thank
that?
you. I totally agree with him. I've never been a social media person. In fact, up until now, I'm still not a social media person. I joined Instagram like a year and a half ago,
I know.
and that was because my office people felt we needed to post cakes. And I think the last posting we did was probably, well, apart from this one, was probably 3 months ago. But within that 3 months, we've done over 60, 70 cakes, but I don't get to post it.
You
I
don't
agree with
remember.
Uche Oti. I don't remember. I don't even take pictures. I agree with Uche Oti. For me, it's more of a practical experience. If you need to have a one-on-one experience with the food and with me. And then your feedback or your comments helps me to grow. That's what I measure as success. When somebody goes
Okay.
and has something and says, oh, okay, try this person, he makes it really well or she makes it very well, and you get patronage from that, this is success to me, not the amount of likes and followers and all that on Instagram. I agree with Uche on that. I don't agree that that is success being measured.
But it's actually good all the same to have a presence, because you see, you're still catering to the new, you're catering to the millennials, you're catering to us, the old and grey ones, you're catering to the millennials, you're catering to my daughter's generation. And they're going to look for you. I mean, she knows she can find her Uncle Chris, but her contemporaries are going to want to look for you on the gram. So it's good to have a presence all the same.
Yeah, it's good to have a presence, but I can tell you something. The biggest seller or that translates into success for any business is the word of mouth. The word of mouth can make or
Absolutely.
break you. 6 years into having, from 2006, when we opened Margaret's, till 3 years ago, we didn't have a sign. We didn't have a sign on the road. We just had one on the building fascia that said Margaret's.
Mm-hmm.
It was much later we put a sign.
Do you have one on the road now?
Well, we do have one. You see, you've taken it for granted. It came up like 2-3 years ago, but it's been taken for granted. One, there's hardly ever power at night to power it at night if you do go out at night for you to drive through. But this is what I'm talking about. You see, the word of mouth is the fastest and best grow a bit, help with your success story.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So you do it well, keep doing it. It will be inconvenient.
Okay.
I know there are times that you have all kinds of horror stories and good stories, though, because I know you charge. You believe in the value of what you carry and you offer. You know.
It's
Yes, I do.
it's not, apart from that, it's very, very tough for us chefs and caterers, however we want to call ourselves. It's become increasingly tough and difficult to stay relevant in this business. But I always have a
Oh, Chris, I think you've gone again. I think you've gone again. Oh my word. Okay, there
yeah, I
you
think
go.
we're back now. We're back, yes.
Okay, you're
So,
back.
like I say, yeah, I have a motto which I've always run my business with. I'm envious of no one.
Okay.
I can do one wedding
Very
in a month,
important.
and the other caterer can do 300 weddings in a month. That's fine. I'm in competition with nobody but myself. I think of ways to improve myself. I think of ways to reinvent myself. I think of
Okay.
ways to recreate. If they say this person is doing rice that is flying, that when he puts the rice on a plate and it flies to your table, good luck to the person. I will carry the rice the traditional way on my hand on a tray and serve you. And that's what matters to me. To anybody who's thinking that the gram and a couple of other things are the basis for success, I will tell you something. Just do you.
Have a good product.
Do you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good product. Believe in yourself. Improve yourself. Train yourself. But most especially, do what you do with passion.
And don't copy,
Do it.
because you see, anyone who's followed your story from the beginning could have said, I mean, a geologist, just geophysicist. I mean, and you had a job in But you knew, you knew, right? And you followed it.
Yeah.
Now, if I follow you, you know that you know I won't do well. You know I won't do well at all. You know, I
You'll be
wouldn't do well.
frustrated.
So
You know,
totally,
the early part of my
totally.
business, I used to sit down on the ground on the restaurant floor at the close of the day, and I would cry. I would really cry and say, "Oh my God, who asked me to do this?" Then when you now have to deal with staff stealing and everything, oh God, I'm like, please. But
You,
having a passion and loving what you do is actually what sustains you. It's not about the money.
yeah.
I've had a job where I was paid 2 million naira and I spent 2.1 million naira. But at the end of the event, I was happy with the outcome. And you get to meet some really, okay, this is why I say word of mouth is a good seller. I'm just going to digress and tell you a very short story of an event I did last year. 2 years ago, they
Okay.
called me, come and do this for me, do the pastries and do the food. After much, some people went on and said another rival catering firm was better than us. They should give them the food to do. Not a big deal. They did the food. I did pastries. There were issues with their food, and we left it at that. Now, I'm not going to call names, but the chairman of the board,
No.
it's a lady, and she's tough. She's considered an iron lady. Had a personal function to do. And I was shocked when she picked up the phone and called me and said, can you do this for me in my location at this? And I'm like, yes, I can. This is a woman who doesn't smile. When you see her, her face is stern. She's straight. No jokes, nothing. And I said, yes, I can. And we go back and forth and we eventually settle. And even though I had a lot of jobs, 2 jobs that weekend, I told my people I was going for this woman's job. So I went to her village. Turned out to be a funeral. And we got in there on Thursday, came with a truck. They showed us where we were to cook. And as soon as I got there, we set up everything. The first thing the husband told me was like, impressive. You mean all this came from the truck? I'm like, yes, because we came with a cooling truck, we came with freezers, we came with fridges, everything we needed, we came
Wow.
with it. And she said, okay, the first meal is for tomorrow, Friday. We'll need it at 11. And she's very standoffish. She'll need it at 11 with her nose like that. We'll need it at 11. And I'm like, okay, fine. And okay, we're supposed to give you 1 cow to kill. That's the cow. The butchers are going to come about 8 o'clock. I said, ma, don't worry, we came with our butcher. So she turned and she looked at me. You brought a butcher too? I said, yes, ma. So we call up our plan and we go into execution. By 8, the food was ready. We had tidied up. The service boys were there waiting. And she comes outside and said, where's Christopher? I can't see any cooking going on. And I came out and I'm like, we're done, ma. Food is set. It's at the tent. She was like, you can't be serious. I said, yes, I am. So she went, literally looked at everything. I was like, my God. And I had no noise at night and I slept here. And you killed the cow too? Yes, ma, that's the head waiting for you people. And we did it and we left. After the whole ceremonies, Sunday, the last day, she sends for me. And I go into the house and I stay in the living room. And he said, no, madam said you should come to her room. And I'm scared. And I go to her room. As soon as she sees me, she pulls to one end of the bed. I said, sit down on the bed. Sit down on the bed. Said, I gather you drink champagne, so I want to give you a bottle. Then she brings a bottle of Moet. And I'm like, ma, I don't drink Moet. I drink Veuve Clicquot. She was like,
There
yes.
you
I said,
go.
yes, I am very specific. I'm very specific. I drink Veuve. So, oh my God, I don't have Veuve. But anyway, how many are you guys? I said, we're about 25. He said, these are 40 souvenirs. Thank you very much. I owe you. I owe you seriously. Thank you. And she leaves. And I'm like, for this lady to have called me into her room and sit on her bed, that's scary. What did we do? 3 days later on, she calls me and said, okay, I'm back in Port Harcourt now. Come and pick up your balance. Come to my office. And I go to her office. And she actually bought Veuve Clicquot waiting for me.
Oh,
She says,
really?
I need to tell you thank you for a job well done. Contrary to what people had said, it was only one person who I trusted and said, let Christopher do this food for you, and you have no issue. So for me, grams, likes, followers, you can go and stay on one place. I even heard people buy those things now. It's have a one-on-one experience. Was it good? If it wasn't, tell me if it was bad so that I can improve myself. So
Okay.
that's
Chris, you
all.
need to round up because I don't want you to
Yes.
freeze again. Yeah, we've frozen like
Okay.
3 or 4 times. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'd like you to just say something to the young people and also the entrepreneurs here and technocrats, people who work in the corporate world on the call right now. And what would you say to them? What would your last word be? Because your experience has been vast. You've pivoted, you've reinvented, you've taken this cooking. That's we didn't have time to talk about it, but you've taken food and you've parlayed it into different opportunities, different streams, just from food and food related things. We haven't even talked about your
The baking
supplies,
part.
the baking part. You haven't talked about your supplies of food items and crockery clock uh,
Collection.
yes, crockery, glassware, flatware, etc. So I mean, Chris, how many streams of income do you have from this passion for food? Just how many streams? You
Um,
don't have to tell us what they are. Just how many?
about 4.
About four. That's
Yes.
like the minimum that can come from a place of passion. About 4 streams of
Yeah.
income. I'm sure
About
I'm
4.
sure you're still going on. I'm sure you're still going on strong. Knowing you.
Yeah.
Knowing you that there'll
Yes.
always be something new. Knowing you.
I get bored easily.
Well, that's kind of craziness. It's good boredom and it's okay, he's gone again. And I think we need to let him go now because so that we don't just keep going on and back. But if you want Chris again, just drop us a call. And then we'll just kind of beg him to come back on, to come back. But thank you everybody for being unplugged with us. We have been truly unplugged today. We've heard a lot from Chris. He's shared a lot of his personal experience and what can I say? It's been very fulfilling for me. Even as his friend, there's some things I didn't know about him and his journey. So, Chris, thank you for your journey, and to everybody who started with us and stayed on with us, and also came back to join us. Thank you for joining us on this unplugged, this edition unplugged. Next week, it's going to be really exciting as well. So, thank you very much. Thank you, Cuz. Thank you, Cuz. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. Mwah. Bye.